Dr. Praful Agniotri, Director, IIM Sirmaur. Dr. Timothy Renor, Director, Bridgeport University. Dr. Suzanne, Principal, Kenya Methodologist University. Dr. Nasim Abidi, Dean, Skyline University, Sharjah. Dr. Dorothy, Dean, School of Business and Economics, Kenya Methodologist University. Our beloved Chairman, Dr. Amanpreet Sir, Directors, HODs, faculty members, and my dear students. I welcome you all for this 6th International Conference on Agile Business in the midst of disruption for sustainability and inclusivity. Can I have that other one, please? Satat Bharat, Sannat Bharat, Sustainable India. India's climate action strategies call for clean and efficient energy system, disaster resilient infrastructure and planned eco-restoration. Globally, India stands 3rd in renewable power, 4th in wind power, and 5th in solar power. India launched the Coalition for Disaster Resilient Infrastructure and the International Solar Alliance to leverage global partnership for climate action and disaster resilience. Furthermore, the slogan of India G20 presidency mentioned One Earth, One Family, One Future, Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam, further which emphasizes on to sustainability as agenda of G20. In alignment of this agenda, PIBM has announced this conference on the theme of sustainability and inclusivity. In this agile and disruptive business environment, it's imperative for businesses to ensure the sustainability of business environment. It's imperative for businesses to ensure and survive. This conference provides great opportunity for researchers and practitioners from academia and industry to focus on meeting the changing environment of the businesses in the emerging context to foster collaborative relationship in such areas. This conference is aligned onto 2 major themes: agile transformation, rethinking business model for inclusive and sustainable outcomes. Second, the circular economy, transforming business models for sustainability. When we talk about sustainability, there are 3 important focus points: conservation, consumption, and climate change. We are consuming more than the planet can produce. The predicament and that we are in demand got to be given in such a ways we behave, how we produce and consume, and how we can recycle things to avoid usage. We need to find solutions to the challenges in the spheres of sensitivity to environment and sustainable development. The ensuing and ongoing changes and the resulting disruption and unsettling businesses, at the same time creating opportunities, how best to navigate these changes and create long-term value. The answer requires radical ideas and leadership. Learning from such practices and experiments should be discussed widely and shared. Major initiatives are underway to develop and understanding the roles we should assume as individuals as well as our respective professional domains to contribute positively to the sustainability. Furthermore, at PIBM, under guidance of our chairmen and the management committee, we ensure that inclusivity and sustainability is part of our curriculum, and we train our students as per the current business trends. Apart from that, our faculty members and students are continuously researching with and contributing to various SMEs across the Maharashtra to overcome their sustainability issues and also ensure their financial growth. Apart from that, our institute has adopted villages around our campus so that we can ensure their sustainable development. With this, my students and faculty members are continuously researching onto sustainable product development, then green energy, green human resource management, and other areas such as renewable energy. I'm sure this conference, with the presence of eminent speakers, will definitely add value globally towards agility of business by ensuring this sustainability and inclusivity. This event encourages individuals community, corporates and household to increase awareness for sustainable planet to shape the better future. With this, I declare this conference open and look forward for exciting and power-packed 2 days with research and knowledge. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Now it is time to call upon a very respected member of PIBM who has been a service veteran with 15 years of military service in the IAF and 14 years of his experience in academics. Sir is also a trainer, a qualified case instructor from Harvard Publishers, an author, a coach, and a qualified independent director from IICA, a visionary who believes in taking up challenges. Sir feels that mindset matters more than the mind in dealing with our challenges. Let us welcome Dr. Bharat Bhushan Singh, Director PIBM, for our 6th International Conference overview.
Thank you, Mr. Indayuth and Ms. Pallavi. Honorable Chairman, Shri Ramanpreet ji, dignitaries, thought leaders from academia, industry, faculty members, conference participants, and dear students. Good morning to you all. The 6th International Conference being organized at Pune Institute of Business Management aims to engage all of us on issues which are being widely discussed and debated both by academia and industry. The conference, themed Agile Business in the midst of disruptions for sustainability and inclusivity, was coined after taking a profound view on contemporary issues and challenges being faced by business across the world. While National Education Policy 2020 in India aligned with the goal of United Nations Sustainable Development Goals 2030, creating inclusivity as a force and recognizing it as the basis for sustainable development. We all know when we talk about education for all in our country and accessibility of higher education, there is a big challenge. If we talk about gross enrollment ratio, it's somewhere around 27, but we have fixed our target by 2035, we must reach 50%. We at PIBM, when we deal with this situation, we are conscious and we train our students towards these aspects and we expect them to deliver when they go out in the field. However, when they go in the field facing disruptions, dealing with inclusivity and sustainable challenges, they look around for answers. They have a lot of questions, they have a lot of views on how to deal with such situations, and they come back to us for the answers. So therefore, this awesome day where we are organizing this 6th International Conference will try to address some of the lingering issues like how do we build agile business which can handle disruptions? How does such business models be built with our inclusive and sustainable? We all know that innovations is creeping around all of us while EV or electrical vehicles is disrupting automobile industry, AI impacting IT and other sectors, inclusivity and sustainability is the other regulatory push which most of the businesses has to deal with. So therefore, The apt theme on which this conference is being organized is for all of us to witness and find answer to our questions. We all know innovation is the answer to disruptions. But how do we create a culture of innovation in the organization? How do we imbibe agility in the organization which can innovate faster and be ahead of the curve to overcome disruptions? While tech disruption is a phenomenon being widely seen across all sectors, fragmented media, dwindling customer loyalty, and ever-shrinking product life cycle is another kind of disruptions being faced by the businesses across the world. I am sure this conference will delve deep into the issue and generate enough ideas and provide answers to all of our questions and clear the cloud surrounding this topic. Since we have two eminent panel discussions, one themed at Agile Transformation, reflecting business models for inclusive and sustainable outcome, and the second panel discussion, the Circular Economy, Transforming Business Models for Sustainability. They are going to provide us a lot of insights on these two topics. I am sure this conference will add value, develop our knowledge and understanding, and we all will go home richer after engaging in 2 days international conference at this premium institution. I wish all the conference participants a great learning and wonderful 2 days ahead at this awesome institute, PIBM Institute of Business Management. Now you might be interested to know the force behind this wonderful campus. So here I speak about the force, a sculpture of creating leaders, and a leader who has sculpted this esteemed institute, a visionary who has always viewed education as an avenue for creating employment. His charisma and relentless endeavor has helped PIBM to carve a niche for itself internationally as well. Sir is the founder of PIBM Skills, an online skill enhancement platform, and Raman Byte Private Limited, an IT startup. In addition, Sir has been honored by the Rotary Club Pune with a Young Entrepreneur Award and has also been awarded for his incredible contribution to the education sector by the 5th Yuva Sansad. Sir has been appointed as member of Expert Analyst Panel, Minorities Commission, Government of India, New Delhi. With a huge round of applause, let's all welcome a visionary and the founder of this esteemed institute, our respected chairman, PIBM Group of Institute, Shri Raman Pit sir, to deliver his welcome speech. Welcome to you.
Thank you. Good morning, everybody. Good morning, sir. When Director Sir speaks so much about me, I feel a little about shy, you know. Anyways, good morning, and I welcome all of you here. I welcome the eminent guests, and I welcome all the education leaders from across the India and the globe, and I also welcome the business heads from this country itself, who has contributed amazingly for all the youth here. So you see, today's topic is about sustainability, agility, and inclusiveness. So what I see that, and what I feel, that since the humanity is born, well, I know what is happening right now. Since the humanity is born, everything is about sustainability, and everything is about the growth. You see, at the era of the various empires, like various kingdoms, okay, all those eras has taken a lot of hard work to sustain themselves. So if I talk about the era in which East India Company was there, Mughal was there, if I talk about the era in which Ramayana and every stuff of what has been written, so kingdoms after kingdoms, we are focused there. They are focusing onto this point called sustainability. So this is a very basic understanding of every human being. If you see that human anatomy, how it is made. So it's brain. Brain has grey cells, white cells. Brain, if the grey cell matters, little lowers down, you see what will happen to us. If we see the BP, what is called blood pressure, blood sugar, liver, kidneys, and all of those human anatomy, it works onto certain kind of lower limit to higher limit. If any limit gets off track, the human existence will take off track. So it's very, very important to understand that the sustainability is not something new. Sustainability is in practice from years and years. It's been offered a different voice altogether. With this human, which is integral part, is to sustain themselves. So with the will of the entire human, if you see all the machines, enterprise, you see big ports is coming up, technologies is there. So all of these things is built because of the will of the human being and whatever we see across the globe. And today we are talking about the sustainability, inclusivity of what the human has made. So with this, I would like first to welcome here the top leaders of the education here. So we have number one, Mr. Bhimrao Mhetri sir, and I welcome here sir to you. I'll just give a small brief about Bhimrao sir here. Bhimrao sir is also there in our BOG, which is in our board, and he has helped and mentored the institute very well in all the aspects. So today what you see the institute has reached is also with the guidance of Bhimrao sir. So I would like that all of you please give an unstoppable clap to Bhimrao sir. Thank you sir to be here, and all the eminent panelists here have done a lot of hard work. They have built at the various campuses, institutions. They're already there onto the leading panels of the education sector, and they're contributing in a large to the Indian education society itself. Then I would like to thank Mr. Agniotri sir, who is a director for IIM Sirmaur, and he has also created wonderful journey for the IIM Sirmaur itself. Within what I spoke just to him in last night, so I got to know about it, that sir within 14 to 15 months of handling that, sir has created a wonderful journey for the IIM Sirmaur. IIM Sirmaur was having approximately 14 faculties, now from 14 to approximately 50 faculties, with the guidance of Mr. Agniotri sir is there. 13 from 39, and I hope it will reach to 50 sooner. Apart from this, he has worked a lot of work for the IIM Sirmaur, FDPs, SDPs, and the various other aspects. He also brought a lot of 5 international exchanges to his campus. So I will hope one big round of applause for the sir also. Thank you. Pawan sir. So thank you for being here itself. Sir is right now is the head of the IIM Trichy. And I think when I met Bhimrao sir was the director of the IIM Trichy, and now Bhimrao sir is taking care wonderfully with the IIM Nagpur. I think now the entire work is onto the Pawan sir. And in fact, Pawan sir, I was just reading his little work. He's done a wonderful work. I think he was also the acting head director for the IIM Indore, and then he was into various committees, handholded into education into various spheres. So I'll also ask everybody to have a big round of applause to Pawan Kumar Singh sir. Thank you. Timothy sir, I will Bridgeport director. So we were in touch with the Bridgeport from past 3 to 4 years. In fact, 4 to 5 years. I personally visited Bridgeport, and thanks for that. But somehow, I think this year, because of COVID, we didn't able to cross that tie-up together. But I hope this year journey will 100% have a very focused tie-up. Yes. So he is handling the entire B school. I hope it's an entire business school is under his command, and he's taking to our newer heights there. And thanks a lot, sir, to be your here today with this entire show. So please bring a round of applause to the sir. Yesterday I met Dr. Suzanne. And Dr. Suzanne, I think, is the principal of Kenya Methodist University, an amazing lady, and she has worked amazingly to establish that entire yes, thank you, university there. And the best part, what she's done, she has made me wear the entire Kenya gown, made me wear a hat. So thanks a lot, ma'am, for this, and welcome here, ma'am, today. and the expert session, Dr. Abidi, thank you, and Dr. Dilpreet. So thanks a lot to be here. So I think I already explained, because there are a lot of experts in front. So sustainability, what I feel, what I would like that all the experts today, if they can just put certain kind of points here today, that what I feel when I read the various reports, I've read PwC report, BCG report, they're all talking about the sustainability. They're talking about the climate change, and because of climate change, a lot of transformation are going to happen into technology. I was studying about the various focus part onto agriculture, and how agriculture and how the technology and various products into agriculture gonna come. I was reading about the finance, sustainability into finance. So I just read in all of those reports published. So what I would like to understand with the heads here today at the panel, is it not that the sustainability will bring a new opportunity? Rather than seeing a crisis, rather than a threat of that this climate change is bringing a threat to us, because everywhere I'm reading is always talking about certain kind of fear, human business, what is already there, how it will sustain. So my point is that when human is made, the entire fight is happening since the beginning to the end, is to sustain and grow. So how do you feel that this era, when there's so much of carbon is coming up, illusion is coming up, so many machines is been made to little bit take illusion of the carbon. Also, they have been seen that a lot of technologies, a lot of agriculture, finances is been there, and it has been a cover the work of how we sustain. So I would like to have a brief understanding today that is it an opportunity, number one, where various products and services want to come to entire globe, or is it really a threat? And because of threat, we are working on this. So I hope the panel is ready and set, and because the entire work is done to the will of the human being. So that today, or in the past, or in the future. So if you have a right will to create, you'll 100% sustain and grow. Thank you for this for today. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir, for that speech. You have motivated us as always. No person was ever honored for what he received. Honor has been the reward for what he gave. It is a privilege to honor such dignitaries present with us today. With this note, let us all start the felicitation ceremony of our esteemed guests. Our first eminent guest is a scholar from the prestigious IIT Bombay. Sir has published more than 100 papers in national, international journals and conference proceedings. Sir has worked as a member of various national level committees of higher technical education and industry, and has trained more than 100 vice chancellors of state and central universities and more than 1,000 deans, directors, principals, and HODs of technical institutions, including NITs under TEQIP. Sir has served in prestigious positions at reputed institutes of India, such as the Director at IIM Trichy, Dean, L&T Institute of Project Management, Vadodara. Prior to this, he was Dean, Academics and Alumni Relations, and Professor at International Management Institute, IMI, New Delhi. He has held several senior leadership positions, such as Chairman PGPM, Dean Academics, Dean Graduate Programs at MDI Gurgaon. And currently, Sir is a Director at Indian Institute of Management, Nagpur. Let us all have a look at Sir's influential career. May I request the video to be played, please? Ladies and gentlemen, we warmly welcome Dr. Bhimaraya Maitri sir to be a part of our international conference. Welcome, sir. Now may I request our chairman Raman sir to kindly come forward, and may I request Bhimaraya sir to kindly step forward, and I request Raman sir to felicitate Bhimaraya sir. Sir, I request you to also be seated.
Our next honorable guest had a corporate career for more than a decade before he converted his hobby of teaching into his profession and became a full-time faculty at Nasi Munji Institute of Management Studies, Mumbai. Sir moved to the IIM Calcutta as a professor in marketing, where he looked after the offices of the chairman, career development and placements. In the year 2008 to 10, he became the convener, an internal personnel committee which looks after the appointment and promotions of faculty members at IIM Calcutta. Not just that, Sir founded and built the 11th IIM, that is IIM Tiruchirappalli, from the very scratch. Under his leadership, IIM Trichy was ranked as the 12th best business school in India. Sir has co-authored a book titled Principles of Marketing with Philip Kotler and Gary Armstrong. He has also been a member of the Council of All India Management Association, New Delhi, on the court of the Central University of Tamil Nadu, and also nominated as a member of the Committee of AICTE to review the syllabus of MBA courses offered in the AICTE approved institutions in India. At present, Sir is serving as a director at IIM Sirmaur. Let us have a look at Sir's illustrious career. We warmly welcome Dr. Prafulla Agnihotri. I now request our chairman, Mr. Ramanpreet sir, to please come forward. And also I will request sir to come to the forward. I request Raman sir to kindly felicitate sir. Thank you, sir. Please take your seats.
Our next influential guest has held prestigious positions of Director and Director in Charge at IIM Indore and the MTI Gurgaon. He was the first chairperson of the academic committee and a nodal officer for IIM Shambalpur while serving in a mentoring capacity. Sir has more than 3 decades of experience in academia. He has been a professor of organizational behavior and human resource management at the IIM Indore for 15 years. Prior to that, he has held academic positions at the National Institute of Industrial Engineering in Mumbai, the Indira Gandhi National Open University in New Delhi, Kanpur University, and Vikram University in Ujjain. He has also worked with Bank of America before entering academia. He has guided research and provided consultancy, so has trained more than 20,000 personnel across all levels of hierarchy from almost all professions. He has published books managing interpersonal conflict, HR management for technical personnel, and many others. At present, Sir is the director of the Indian Institute of Management, Tiruchirappalli. Let us all have a look at Sir's inspirational career. We warmly welcome Dr. Pawan Kumar Singh to be a part of our international conference. Welcome, sir. Now, may I request the chairman, Raman sir, to kindly come forward, and may I request Pawan sir to please come forward, and I request Raman sir to felicitate Pawan sir. Thank you, sir.
Our next respectable guest is a strategic leader, builder of innovative programs and collaborative teams. Sir completed his PhD from Wilmington University. He has held important positions such as Vice President at Bun and CEO at Stony Creek Specialty Coffee LLC before he started his career in academia in the year 2006. Since then, Sir has held important positions such as Associate Professor and Chair, Department of Business Administration Management and Sports Management at Albertus Magnus College. He then became Undergraduate Program Director at Ernest C. Treff School of Business and then went on to become Dean of School of Professional Studies, UB Online, and Executive Director of Strategic Programs. He teaches business policy and strategy, business planning, and international entrepreneurship. Currently, Sir is the Director and Associate Professor at Ernest C. Treff School of Business, Bridgeport, US. Let us have a look at Sir's influential career. Dr. Raina to be part of our international conference. I request Mr. Ramanpreet sir to please come forward. And also I would like to request Mr. Raina to step forward. I request Ramanpreet sir to kindly felicitate Raina sir. Thank you so much, sir. Please have your seats.
Our next revered guest holds a Masters of Science in Operations Research from Aligarh Muslim University and Master of Technology and Doctor of Philosophy degree in Future Studies and Planning from Devi Ahilya Vishwavidyalaya, India. He has an excellent academic record with university rankings and gold medal. Sir's had 3 decades of work experience in business schools and government as an educator, researcher, academic administrator, and software professional. He has been teaching in leading business schools and universities in India, UK, and the UAE. Sir has published research papers in reputed refereed international journals and guided scholars for doctoral research work. His teaching and research interest areas include sustainability, sustainable supply chain management, operations management, research methods, economic efficiency, management science, creativity and innovation. Currently, Sir is the Dean at Skyline University College, Sharjah, UAE. Let us all have a look at Sir's amazing career. Ladies and gentlemen, we warmly welcome Dr. Naseem Abidi to be a part of our international conference. Welcome, sir. May I request the Chairman, Ramanpreet sir, to kindly step forward, and I request Naseem sir also to come forward, and I request Raman sir to felicitate Naseem sir.
Our next honorable guest is one of those rare thinkers who has changed the world with her innovative research and teaching in information systems. Having worked at the University of Nairobi for over 20 years, ma'am has held a number of leadership positions, including Dean of the School of Business and Economics. She is a highly accomplished researcher and has published over 100 papers in top academic journals and conferences. Her research interests include information system security, e-commerce, and social media. Ma'am is also a recipient of several awards and recognitions, including the 2020 Distinguished Researcher Award from the University of Nairobi. She is also a member of the editorial boards of several academic journals. Other than that, she has received many awards and recognitions such as Best Paper Award International Conference on Information System Security, ICISS 2019, Google Faculty Research Award 2017, and many others. At present, ma'am is the principal at Kenya Methodist University. Let us have a look at ma'am's inspiring journey. We warmly welcome Dr. Naimuru to be a part of our 6th International Conference. Welcome, ma'am. I would request Raman sir to kindly felicitate ma'am.
Our next respectable guest has over 3 decades of experience. Ma'am is a lecturer at the Department of Business Administration with interest in entrepreneurship development, business planning, social entrepreneurship, project management, small policy development, and entrepreneurial networking. She holds a PhD in entrepreneurship from Jomo Kenyatta University of Agriculture and Technology, Master Science in Entrepreneurship from the same university, and also Bachelor of Arts in Social Sciences from the University of Nairobi. She has received many notable awards and recognitions, such as the recognition for selfless service by Kenya Methodist University, recognition for valuable contribution during the Global Entrepreneurship Training 2018 in East Africa for sustainable economic growth organized by Global Entrepreneurship Education Program, GEEP, Hangdong University, sponsored by the UNESCO and the Republic of Korea. At present, ma'am is the Dean at the School of Business and Economics at Kenya Methodist University. Ladies and gentlemen, let us all have a look at ma'am's magnificent career. We warmly welcome Dr. Gatwiri Kirimi to be a part of our 6th International Conference, may I request our Chairman Raman sir to felicitate Dr. Kiri. And now, to declare our 6th International Conference proceedings open, I request our respected dignitaries and our Chairman, Raman Preet sir, to do the honors. I request all the dignitaries to come up on stage. To declare the conference proceedings open, I request Raman sir also do the honors. I request all the dignitaries to step ahead. It is now time to commence our keynote panel discussion in which our revered dignitaries, Dr. Bhimaraya Metri, Dr. Prafulla Agnihotri, Dr. Pawan Kumar Singh, Dr. Timothy Rayner, and Dr. Suzanne Laimaru will discuss the theme of our 6th International Conference, which is Agile Transformation, Rethinking Business Models for Inclusive and Sustainable Outcome. I request Dr. Bhimaraya Metri sir to kindly moderate this keynote panel discussion.
Very good morning. Respected the chairman of the prestigious institute, Sri Raman Preet ji, my distinguished panel members, Professor Pawan Kumar Singh, Dr. Timothy, Professor Prafulla Agnihotri, Dr. Sujan, the conference chair, Rajeshri, the director, Bharat Bhushan ji, all the heads of the department, distinguished professors, and my dear students. So it is a great opportunity for the panel member to discuss a very important topic in today's context. So if you look at the topic, Agile Business in the midst of disruptions for sustainability and inclusivity. So these two words, as the chairperson rightly said, Ramanji, that sustainability and inclusivity are going to play a very, very important role. So before going to start the panel discussion, briefly I will put it, we are in Pune, and that too we are in the PIBM Pune Institute of Business Management. Probably, when we were the kids, we used to hear Pune is called as a Oxford of East. And tomorrow I am going to Coimbatore, and Coimbatore is called as a Manchester of India. But if you look at the kind of growth happening in India, countries on the movement, the leadership of the globe is coming to India. As per the prediction, 55% of the youth working population is in India. It is highest ever, and where the youth population is highest, that country lead the globe. That is what happened to China. China is leading. Prior to that, Singapore. Prior to that, Japan. So this sequence is going to continue, and in 28, 29, India is going to take a leadership from China to lead the globe. So in this context, probably the leaders like Ramanpreet ji and city like Pune is already known as it is a cultural and education capital of India. And in today's context, not only this is a capital of culture and education, Pune is also known as a IT and manufacturing hub of this part of the Asia. So in this context, going forward in few years, probably Oxford will say that it is Pune of India, and maybe Manchester will say that Coimbatore of Europe will be, Manchester. So probably the things will change. We used to refer Europe because Europe is living in history. India is going to create a history. So in this context, probably they refer Pune and they refer, Coimbatore as a places they connect with Manchester and Oxford. This is what going to be. History is going to be written differently in coming years, and each one of you, young, my dear students, you are going to create a history, because the moment you are entering into the corporate world, in few years, India is going to lead the world. So in this context, you have larger accountability and responsibility. And today's world is a fluid world. Fluid world means agility. Fluid world means old is not dead and new is not born. Always you are in a catch-20 situation. It means if you go to the river, touch the water, after some time again you go to the water, you can't touch the same water. This is what disruption is happening, and we are calling after 1990 onwards, a solid world has become liquid, and from liquid we are reached to the fluid world. So fluid world is full of disruptions. So in this disruptive world, the agility is going to play important role. That is where the title given by the conference organizer, so that is Agile Transformation. And really the transformation is going to be agile, and during the process of transformation, agility is going to be there. Today, rigidity is stupidity. So lot of options are there, and if you look at the national education policy, lot of agility is given to the students to pursue their dream. But at the same time, during agile transformation, rethinking of business models. So business models are not going to remain constant, they are going to keep on changing, they are going to be agile. And as and when you think, they keep on changing. And that is where today's context, a great institutions like PIBM Pune Institute of Business Management. So each one of you are going to be a change masters to lead the unknown roles in unborn companies. Roles are going to change because of robots, because of disruption, because of technological development and intervention, the automation is going to happen. Routine jobs are continuously going to be autonomous, and every time you have to learn new things. So learning, unlearning, relearning, and also skilling, reskilling as a part of your position to remain relevant to the present world. So in this context, the business models probably, if you look into that before COVID and after COVID, totally business models have changed. Look at the e-commerce. Earlier retail business was huge in percentage, and today it has come down to single digit, it is 5-6%. But if you look at the e-commerce, it is 13 to 15%, which was very less before COVID. So this is how business models are changing, and you all experienced online has become mainline and mainline has become offline. Today we call face-to-face as offline, and online we call it as a mainline. That has become a highway. So this is how models are continuously changing. And not only this, we are now AI, we are now generative AI, we are now chat GPT. Some of the American university deans we were talking, they are talking, we are going to ban chat GPT in our campus. That is a nonsense statement. You can't afford to ban, but you have to find out the new solution for the new problem. So this is what the agility is all about. Banning is not the solution. We have to remain relevant to the technology. So business models are going to change everywhere, including education. And future belongs to a smart universities, smart colleges, and smart businesses. And I was fortunate enough to work with Ramanji for developing, for proposing and developing a model of a digital university for the state of Maharashtra. We are working, we have submitted the report. At the same time, Government of India, Ministry of Finance also proposed the hub and spoke digital universities, and that is going to be a reality very soon. Hybrid model is going to be there. So in this context, this particular topic is extremely important, and apart from AI and generative AI and IoT, 3D printing has come. I was talking to L&T, I was working L&T some time back. So Bangalore, they are printing the houses, 2-bedroom kitchen in 8 hours. Not only ornaments printing, you might have heard about, now buildings are printed. Car is to be printed instead of 14,000 components, now 200 components are good enough to print a car. So that is a magic of 3D printing. Now you might have heard about IoT, Internet of Things. From Internet of Things now, and using AI, and young people like you, my dear students, if you use AI and IoT, 3D printing, cloud computing, then probably from IoT you are going to move to the IOA, Internet of Ability. Your ability will change, you move to the new orbit. So from IoT you are going to IOA, and from IOA you are going to move to the IOB, that is Internet of Behavior. The moment you are competent, your competency improved using IoT and IOA, then you will move to the Internet of Behavior. So you will be in different orbit. This is how you yourself are changing, and obviously business model, there is nobody can stop to change. So therefore the topic is rethinking of business models, and keeping two things in mind, sustainability and inclusivity. If you look at the natural resources, last many years we have utilized the natural resources, and today according to one estimate 1.75 times natural resources have been consumed. The way they produce naturally and how much we consume, we already consumed 1.75 times. Same way we consume, probably future generation, nothing will be left, and the planet is already in endangered condition. That is how sustainable development goals of 17 now come into picture. And similarly inclusivity, now have and have nots are the people today. We are in the era of Industry 4.0. Japanese have called it as a smart society 5. They begin with hunter society as a society 1, agriculture society as a society 2, then industry society 3, industry 4. Society 4. So now it is a smart society. Smart society because digital divide is going to disappear. Digital India scheme has come, and India has taken a lead in digital space, even for the payment transactions. So India is already established a leader, and in startup India is number 2 in the world. We have more than 100 unicorns, more than 84,000 startups, and these startups are only urban startups we are talking about, because our figures are only urban. Rural India, in agriculture sector, whatever startups are there, illiterate people, what the startup do, that is not counted, otherwise it is manifold higher than 84,000. So countries on the moment, that is where the models keep on changing, and we keep on learning and keep on adding, and innovation, adoption are the ways, are the mantras to succeed in this competitive world. And the most important, while rethinking business model, one certain things we have to keep constant, that is Indian ethos and business ethics. They are going to take a long way, and that is where probably if you see in Silicon Valley of US, the top 25 companies are headed by Indians. Because why Indians were chosen for that, the reason is they are having in their DNA Indian ethos and business ethics, and that is where systematically they are chosen, whether Satya Nadella or IBM Krishna or Sharma of Deloitte or Sundar Pichai, you name, all those 25 they are handpicked because they are living with Indian ethos, and that is going to take a long way. So that is where, while rethinking a business model, we have to be grounded, we have to remain on the ground, and this institution follow the principle of our great saint of India, Swami Vivekananda. Swami Vivekananda said, a leader is the one who thinks the unthinkable, who achieves the unachievable, and who sees the invisible. So, and I was just watching the video that arise, awake, stop not till the goal is achieved. So that's the kind of nation we belongs to, and that is where now India is ready to create a history for the world, ready to take the lead for the entire globe for sustainability and inclusivity, because DEI, diversity, equity and inclusiveness is going to play a very, very important role. In this context, this panel discussion, I have 4 distinguished panel members with a different background and with international experience, and 2 of my colleagues from IIM. I am sure it is going to be a very fruitful, useful discussion. And to begin with, I request each one of the panel member, they have to throw a light on the topic, that is Agile transformation, rethinking a business model for sustainability and inclusivity. So they will be speaking initially, each one of them in opening remark. They will talk about 8 minutes, and then 1 or 2 rounds of question will be asked, and then also we open the floor for questions for the last round. So this is how we are going to follow the platform. So now I request Professor Pawan Kumar Singh. So opening remark 8 minutes, sir. Please go ahead. Yeah.
So 8 minutes is the time budget. First of all, let me express my happiness to be in this Silvan campus of Pune Institute of Business Management, and the team of Shri Ramanpreet Singh ji, Dr. Bharat Bhaskar ji, Dr. Rajeshwari Pillai ji, and all faculty colleagues, dear students, wonderful team, and I am very happy to be here. Let us come to the topic, and the topic of this conference is Agile Business in the midst of disruptions for sustainability and inclusivity. And topic for this session basically is very close to that spirit, Agile transformation, thinking business models for inclusive and sustainable outcome. Now I have to set the ball rolling as panel member. Already it has been done by Professor Maitre. First of all, especially students, be ready to fall in love with the word disruption. Don't get afraid of this. Disruption is the way of life. How it is way of life? You have 37 trillions of cells in your physical body. 37 trillions of cells. And entire cells, they get changed in a cycle of 7 years. So, in 7 years, if 37 trillion cells change, every day your millions of cells change. So you are not the same person now which you were when you were entering this hall for attending this conference. We are changing at a very fast rate. Similar change was visualized through meditative process by Gautam Buddha when he said in Dhammapad, Sabbe Sankhara Anicchati Yada Payyaya Passati. This is in language of Pali. Sabbe Sankhara Anicchati. Every momentum that is taking place in this world is Anicchati, means Anischit, means it is not having any longevity. Everything is ephemeral. Sabbe Sankhara Anicchati. Yaya Payyaya Pashyati. Payyaya means with pragya. One who is able to apply the vision of pragya, the vision of wisdom, will always find that everything is changing. And that's why this disruption as a concept is not new for at least Indian philosophy at all. It has been there for more than 3,000 years in recorded history. So, change is the order of the day. Many students might have come here. First time they might have been living in the hostel, feeling a lot of nostalgia that my mother's food I am missing. Okay, those days were fine, but these days are also beautiful. All changes you should be able to basically welcome. You will go from one job to another, another to another. You will have to keep welcoming all those changes. So fall in love with the word disruption itself. Secondly, when we talk about future business model, when we have promise to keep, to safeguard sustainability and inclusivity, what can be that business model and what are the important factors that those we need to include in that? I'll propose 4 variables are very important for sustainable business model. Not only sustainable business model for sustaining the business, but sustainable business model to sustain the society as well as earth, as well as maybe that our misbehavior is also impacting solar system, I don't know. It is not only impacting earth, but it is also perhaps impacting solar system. It is impacting our galaxy. So, 4 variables in your business model in future would be, number 1, environment. The environment that in which we are living basically is gift of nature and we have no right to destroy it. And if we destroy more than proportion that we destroy, we need to recapitulate it, rejuvenate it, because environment basically is our lifeblood. It is the oxygen on which we are living. And if we destroy this environment, basically we are creating a very ugly world for next generation. Please always think for your grandchildren. Whenever you plan a business model, be in love with your grandchildren. That am I creating a better world for my grandchildren? That will be very important perhaps parameter for choosing a model. And today also, many organizations have got directives to follow certain rules and regulations. Even regulations have come so that your behavior of production should be in such a way that you contaminate the environment to the least possible. And this is going to be essential ingredient for a business. Saving and nurturing environment. Number 2, fine, I am doing business, what can be sustainable model? So second factor is that, is it serving the greater cause of society? So sociological dimension. First was environmental dimension, second is sociological dimension. After all, business is for society. Even physics and chemistry also is for society only. Science is also for society. In Bengali there is a phrase which was said in 14th century by Adi Bengali Kavi Chandidas, Shavar upore manuswatto, tahar upore nahi, means above everything, the cause of humanity is of highest order and nothing is more important than that. So whether your business is only searching for profit or searching for greater cause of humanity in larger, let us say, run. Third point, the third variable necessarily for your business model has to be economics. We can talk about environment and sociology. These two factors cannot wait, but unless the economics of your firm is intact, you cannot run a business. So for business, you cannot lose sight of economics. And I always say that this may be a poor claim, but I can describe entire MBA program, at least 80% of that, in one sentence. What is MBA? MBA means it is not about management. It is business management I am describing. Business management is about maximizing profit by maximizing revenue and minimizing cost while keeping eyes on future and keeping the interest of all stakeholders intact. This is, I think, 80% of MBA. So, when you take care of this, it is about maximizing profit by maximizing revenue and minimizing cost, but keeping eyes on future. Means your strategic planning should be correct. Your future plan should be correct. And this ephemeral changing environmental nature has to be always in your mind. And this is the meaning of eyes on the future. And while keeping the welfare of all stakeholders intact. And stakeholders include not only external but internal. Tomorrow, you please fall in love with your customer. Our marketing professors, they say, and they say correctly, that customer is the king and customer is the queen. But you should not lose sight of also giving due respect to your internal stakeholder, that is your employees, because employees are those, if customers are king, employees are king makers, and king makers are not less than kings. So that economics has to be taken care into account. And fourth point in my four variable, let us say, framework is ethics. Ethics, business ethics, human values, because ethics and values, they will provide sustainability. If you ask me what is the lifeblood of sustainability in human behavior, it is ethics and values. I'm not going to describe here what is morality, what is ethics, what is values. We all know that, but this ethics has to be part of that. You see, long back, Rig Veda suggested that why we should be ecologically friendly, and it suggested Ritasya Yatha Preta. Rig Veda says Ritasya Yatha Preta. Ritasya means, in English it is rhythm. As the rhythm of the existence is there, because existence also has a music, you have to attune yourself with that music. Otherwise, you see, this environment, as I find, first whispers in your ears, hey, don't behave like that. It whispers in your ears. If you don't listen, it starts shouting, behave yourself properly. And if you do not listen to the shouting also, it gives a tight slap. Let us not leave our future generation to keep receiving tight slaps. So we should be able to listen to that rhythm, that whisper, and also the sound of environment, that it is an invitation. Whole existence is inviting you to create a rhythm with itself so that life becomes musical, existence becomes musical, with nature human being becomes musical. That is the dictate of Rig Veda, the oldest book of the world. And last point I'd like to say, that sustainability has to be connected to the leadership style also. Basically, I am a student of human behavior, so I will bring this point. What is that leadership quality which will help me to become attuned with sustainability automatically? When I joined as MDI director, 1 minute sir. When I joined as MDI director, media asked me, what will be your first priority? I said my first priority would be to make the life of the next incumbent more comfortable. And I would like that once I leave this position, nobody should remember me. I call it dewdrop leadership. When dewdrop is very pure, when it evaporates, leaves no mark of contamination. But when impure water evaporates, leaves mark of contamination. So leaders need to connive to make themselves redundant, so that there is no need for anybody to remember the leader. That is the model of leadership. And with this, I'll say to young people, last line, sir, that there was a Hindi song, "Hum laaye hain तूफान से किश्ती निकाल के." But I'll say our generation has not done a proper job on this aspect. कि हम लाए हैं तूफान से किश्ती निकाल के, इस देश को रखना मेरे बच्चों संभाल के. यहाँ मैं कहना चाहूँगा, हम लाए हैं तूफान से किश्ती को किसी तरह निकाल के, इस वातावरण को रखना बच्चों तुम संभाल के. थैंक यू वेरी मच.
So thank you very much, Professor Pawan Kumar. I think the most important one is, MBA definition, what Professor mentioned. You see, those 5 developed nations, they created 80% of the West and created a climate change problem as well as ozone. So, US, Japan, UK, France, Germany, 5 nations, 80% of the West, and now the definition of sustainability is coming up. So that is where it is extremely important, keeping future in mind. So thank you very much, sir. Now I request Dr. Timothy Renor, Director and Associate Professor, Ernest C. Trage School of Business, University of Bridgeport, sir. 8 minutes, your opening remarks in 8 minutes.
8 minutes? First of all, thank you. And this is my second time. I'm a professor. Can you tell that I teach? I like to get up, I like to move around, I like to talk. So first, thank you. This is my second time in front of you. The last time was virtually during COVID. And I spent a lot of time thinking about how I was going to approach today. My family knows, even though I'm an educator, I'm a teacher, I don't like to talk. I like to listen more than I talk. And so my family said, talk, please, make your points, talk, don't listen. They're flying you there to talk. So I want to talk to you about a couple of things, and I want you to be calibrated so you understand the lens of the world that I see. It's very important that the words I say to you, you understand where they're coming from. In my journey, I have worked for 2 Fortune 50 corporations, billion-dollar corporations. So I have those books in my library of life. In my journey, I have started and sold 3 businesses. So I have those books in my library of life. I went to college. I have multiple degrees. I started in economics. My focus is international business and strategic management. I have those books in my library of life. So when I talk to you about what I see, it's very important you understand where I come from. So now I teach and I run the School of Business. Our university was voted one of the most diverse universities in the United States. Today, 70% of my student population is either brown or black. That's what we do exceptionally well. The theme today, the theme of your conference, disruption. Please be aware, you are at a major inflection point in the history of mankind. Let me say that one more time, because you are witnessing a major change in the world. AI, the ability to rationalize, the ability to process, to almost think. And it was just introduced last year. Your future, you're being trained today for a future that we have no idea what looks like. The knowledge you have today may or may not be relevant in the future. It is critically important that you understand this disruption is going to change everything in the world. The way the world was yesterday, the businesses, the countries, the skill sets, the people that ran yesterday will not be the people that run tomorrow unless they educate, innovate, and adapt. Educate, innovate, and adapt. Educate, innovate, and adapt. We have a saying, adapt or die. Now that may be very alarming, but that is the future. You are either going to adapt to the new world or your business will die. You are either going to adapt your job to the new world or your job will be gone. So this topic is extremely important to you, to your family, to your town, to your government, to your nation, to everyone in the world. AI and this disruption is the inflection point. You must be aware. All right, so what can you do? Educate, innovate, adapt. Educate. Education is not just school. Quick show of hands, how many people read the news, listened to the news, watched the news this morning? Now, not your smartphone, not through your social media, because that news is an algorithm that is specifically tailored to give you what you like. Do not go get the news that you like. You should be reading about. I'll give you a couple of sources. Al Jazeera's News, one of the best news agencies in the world. Reuters you can select by country. You should be learning about your country, what's going on. You should be learning about China. You should be learning about the Middle East. You should be learning about the US, Brazil. You should be so hungry for knowledge that it should be your passion, because you need to educate in order to innovate, in order to adapt. Very first thing, every day, all day, I'm trying to absorb news. I want to know what's going on in the world. Why? So that I know how to adapt to what's coming at me. I beg of you, download a good news source for China on your app. Get the app. Download Al Jazeera's news. Download Reuters, right? Be thirsty. Be hungry. And get news into your day every single day. So when you're learning about a topic, you can understand how it impacts your reality. How am I doing on time? Am I good? Okay. It normally takes me 8 minutes just to say good morning. So there's two thing I like about being an older professor, and I tell my professors this, we've got these nuggets of knowledge we don't even know about, but we can hand them to you. If there's just two things I can leave with you, number one, the leaders of yesterday are not the leaders of tomorrow. The leaders of yesterday are not the leaders of tomorrow unless, and here's my second thing, you need to educate, innovate, and adapt. If you educate, innovate, and adapt, you will be positioned better than those people that have not. So what you need to do today, how can I start that? Download those apps. Start learning about the world. Start seeing what's going on. Start understanding every threat is an opportunity. And business people, we love threats. because we figure out how to monetize and position our companies to make it an opportunity. You can only do that if you completely understand the threat. So I beg of you, I beg of you, I beg of you, educate yourself, be a consumer of news and information, not just college degrees. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Professor Timothy. I think the important takeaway from the opening remark is what Professor Timothy said is, yesterday's leaders are not tomorrow's leaders. But if you want to become, yesterday leaders wants to become tomorrow's leaders, then, leadership style has to change. So leaders have changed, leadership style has not changed. If you don't change your style, you have to contextualize your leadership, and Indians are good at contextual leadership. And therefore, contextual leadership is going to work out. According to context, we have to change, and then only you can be leader forever. Not only yesterday, not only tomorrow, but forever. I think that is what need up in the traits. According to the context, we have to change, and at the same time, some of the tips given, to remain relevant. It means that in this disruptive world, if you don't disrupt others, you get disrupted. I think that is what the message. So not to get disrupted means we have to disrupt others. That is the way of life. Now, going forward, now may I request next our panel member, Dr. Susan. She is the principal, Kenya Methodist University, Kenya. So I request her to give her opening remarks in 8 minutes.
Thank you, moderator. As you've heard, my name is Dr. Susan Leimaro. I come from Kenya. This is my first time to be in India, courtesy to PIBM. This is, when we are coming to this country, I didn't expect to get such a great university, a campus. I had a campus, and one thing I've learned from this campus is to take back the neatness in these students. When I look at them, they look powerful business people. I'm grateful, Chairman and the coordinators for this conference for inviting me. I'm looking at the topic today, our theme, Agile Business in the midst of disruption and the sustainability and the inclusiveness. And I'm almost telling my colleague, Dr. Dorogide, this is what we need in Kenya. Because in Kenya, currently, we have had so many disruptions, and I believe too, in India, there have been so many disruptions in our business field. And especially I look back during the COVID-19 time, when we as a campus at the university, we were almost closing doors. Because we didn't have students, there was that we were supposed to not come to campus, there was no face-to-face teaching, and we almost closed the doors. And I imagine even almost it was happening countrywide. I also look back in our country, there are so many disruptions today. And especially when our new leader is not accepted by the second runners-mate. Therefore, listen and take it from me, on Mondays and Thursdays every week, there were political disruptions. And I have seen business closing, hotels closing, cloth textiles closing, and it's all because of disruptions. And I've heard our first speaker say that young people be ready for disruptions. And these disruptions may come through human beings, like we have in politics and leadership, and others will come naturally. Even the climate change can bring those disruptions to our business. But the question is, how do we sustain these businesses? And to begin with, I feel, and there's a class I taught yesterday, we chatted, not actually talking, in this midst, And they are all business people. Actually, most of them are even coming to Kenya to start business. They told me they will be coming to Kenya to start business. So my question is, how do we then sustain our businesses? And one of us here has said that our business will depend on leadership. What kind of a leader are you? Are you the traditional leader or this agile leader? And this leadership that looks, I will call them the 3 C's of leadership. Communication. That leader must have a vision. Otherwise, the team will not have anything to follow. That leader must communicate his vision. And when he communicates the vision, and then one thing I have learned is that a leader must be a servant person. That person who is ready to serve and listen to others, so that you don't think you are an island of information. That leader, we have had say, must be innovative and creative. And I realize that most of our businesses are not able to be sustained because we are not creative. We are not innovative. Actually, we keep on following what others are doing. Like us in Kenya, you can see somebody has started a cafeteria here. The following day, you see 10 of them. That means you're getting another person's idea and you have no vision. You have no dream. And that dream, you follow it and follow that specific line of thinking. So, and then I'm looking at this leader who is ready to collaborate. And I gladly say, Chairman, thank you for collaborating with the Kenya Methodist University. You'll be seeing our students here. And we will be seeing your students in our university in Kenya. So that leader who is ready to collaborate and to go outside their country. Look for ideas outside where you are. And then, of course, that leader must embrace all the ethnic groups. I believe here in India you are different ethnicities, different ethnic groups. Then does that leader include inclusivity? Do you look at, for example, you recognize if this is a Muslim, a Christian, you all embrace the ideas because we are all human beings, one man. So I'm looking at a good business that has a good leader, one. That leader who will look at the natural, who manage to enhance the natural resources and also get ways of creating his own resources. I'm looking at a campus like this one today. That leader will not only look at the fees he will get from the student, research, project, and get money from outside and build the campus. All said and done, and we are saying, you young people, we said you are the future of tomorrow. And when we say you are the future of tomorrow, we should also, as leaders, and I'm looking at even the chairman and the community here, manage to mentor you so that if I'm not energetic enough to run this institution, that young leader will take up, and that institution will not die but live and live forever. So therefore, thank you for inviting us in this conference, and I believe we'll learn a lot.
Thank you very much, Dr. Susan. If you carefully listen, Dr. Susan, what she said is here to look around, basically look within, look around and look beyond. If you really want to be successful, you really want to build a new model relevant to the present world. So for rethinking, you have to see within, around, look within, look around and look beyond. And that is where today she talked about leadership. If you look at that, 50 years back, nobody thought about Rishi will lead UK as a Prime Minister. 50 years back, nobody thought about Obama will head the America. And again, same, nobody thought about Kamala Harris will be the Vice President in America. This is all, people, they have changed the leadership style, they contextualized and they win the will of the people and they are leading. So that is what leadership is. It is all about a contextualization, and Indians are extremely good for contextual leadership. That is why top-notch companies, they always demand Indians to lead the corporate world because they are contextual leaders and they are great sense maker. In today's world, if you really want to be a leader, one has to be a great sense maker. But sustainability and inclusivity, if you really want to learn, we cannot learn city like Pune, New York, Mumbai, Delhi, but gaon ki taraf chalo. If you go towards village, if you see the Adivasi area, how to live together, competition has to be thrown out and cooperation has to be brought, and which is in our DNA. If you really want to build a sustainability, I was talking to Gadchiroli, Chandrapur area, Deshas Vaidyu. Deshas Vaidyu means paramparik, medicines they give. They are never gone to school, but they treat all kinds of diseases without any, operation and all. So this is traditionally thousands of years of experience, generation to generation, they are maintaining. So that is how to work together. Even not a single plant is destroyed or finished. Biodiversity they maintain, and how every 4 or 5 years they come to that place, and they also allow the trees to grow, and they also use the tree for their livelihood. So that is where when it comes to sustainability, we can only learn sustainability from Bharat, means true India, that is rural India and Adivasi area. We can learn German today prospering in Ayurveda because they came to Nasik and Adivasi area. They learned the Adivasi language, they understood the plant, they learned our language, and they are patenting big way in Ayurveda. And its roots lies in Sanskrit, what our Professor Pawanji says. So this is sustainability and inclusivity. One has to go to village, so go back to village or gaon ki taraf chalo. That is the only way we can get into sustainability and inclusivity, and that model is going to take a long way. Not only we enjoy the natural resources, but we also enjoy. We also make many generations to enjoy the natural resources many years. So that is where going forward, thank you very much ma'am, going forward, now I request Professor Prafulla Agnihotri give his opening remark in 8 minutes.
Thank you, Dr. Maitri. First of all, thank you very much, Mr. Mr. Raman Preet and Professor Saurav. Where is he? I can't see him anywhere. Okay. Amount of hard work that Professor Saurav has done, coordination. I know how difficult it is to coordinate with different people, and if you are hosting a conference of this magnitude. So, my compliments to him, and thank you for giving me this opportunity. It's always a pleasure to talk to the students. I'm a teacher first, I always say, and director by accident. Okay. But perhaps I was not very good teacher, that's why they made me director. And they say, you better spare our students. So I will not lecture you. Okay. Let's talk. I don't know much of theory. And therefore I'll dwell on examples and discuss things with examples. So, before we start, what do you mean by agility? I was just looking at the meaning in the dictionary. Okay, and the dictionary defines it as able to move easily and quickly. That's how exactly the dictionary defines it. So it's an ability, it's an adjective, ability to move quickly and easily. I'll give you a few examples. How many of you have sat in an ambassador car? Excellent. So you had that experience, I'm glad. And how many of you have driven that? Wow, amazing. So that was a still thrilling experience, right? Because if you have to overtake a bullock cart, you have to stand on the accelerator. Where are ambassador cars now? Except maybe in the city of Kolkata, flying as yellow cabs. Ambassador cars are nowhere to be seen. But at one point of time, they were the luxury cars of India. And most of the top management used to be driven by an ambassador car. Because they were very comfortable.
Okay? They are very comfortable to sit in if you are sitting on the back seat. But they are not there anymore now. Kodak, the typical example that is given when you discuss about agility and all other things. Okay, Kodak, they invented films. They invented the art of photography. But today, Kodak has lost its business because they did not see digitalization coming in. See, all these cameras, none of them is using any films. They are all using digital technology. I still belong to the old generation when I used to have Agfa ISOLI camera with AS3 grade films that I used to make. And therefore I used to click very few movies because photographs, because each photo used to be difficult and very expensive to print. Even today, with this camera, I take very few photographs, and my wife says, "क्यों इतना miser बनते हो? ले लो, उसपे क्या पैसा पड़ता है?" Because it's digital. अच्छा नहीं लगा तो delete कर देना, right? But Kodak did not see it coming, and they got extinct. And I'm sure many of you may not know the name of this brand. If any one of you knows this name, you would be the best student in India, absolutely. There was a brand of shirts, I'm giving you a huge hint, a brand of shirts which were premium shirts when I was a small child in my school and college. They were the most expensive brand of shirts, ready-made shirts, okay, in India, where at that time Reliance fabric had come out. Okay, in 80s I am referring to. You buy Reliance fabric, get it stitched by, in 80s there was another good tailor, Academicians. If you see Amitabh Bachchan type movies of 70s and 80s, you will find tailored by Academicians in Khar in Mumbai. Get it stitched by them. Still, these shirts would be more expensive. What is the brand? What is the name of that shirt? Sorry? No, sorry. Zodiac were there then, but not Zodiac. No, not CD. No, Dorian were not there that time. I do that every year, year by year. So far, no one has broken this record. Therefore, I was so confident. Anyway, I will not waste time. I have got only 8 minutes, and Mr. Mithri is counting time. So, the name of that brand is Cambridge. Have you heard it? I'll just give you, there are several definitions of brand equity. One of the definitions says the premium that your brand enjoys over the next best brand is due to your brand equity. So let's use that definition to see the brand equity of Cambridge shirts. The other day I was working on some project, so I just happened to saw a Cambridge shop. I was sweetly surprised that they are still available. I went over there. And what was the price of a Cambridge shirt? 300 to 500 rupees. No exaggeration. And there was a premium shirt, Cambridge Gold. And two things I observed on Cambridge Gold. In Cambridge shirts, there is a logo of Cambridge man over here. As a small child, or when I was in college, I used to flaunt that logo to show that I am wearing a Cambridge shirt. Okay? It was premium shirt. And from that Cambridge Gold brand, which was a premium brand, that Cambridge logo had disappeared. As a student of marketing, what does that tell you? Okay. And the price of Cambridge Gold was between 700 to 1000 rupees. Now let's go to the competitors. Let's take a brand like say Louis Philippe. What is the average price? 2500 to 3000 rupees for a general shirt. And HP has, LP also has a premium brand of shirt, Italian collection. They go 5000 above. Now look at the competitive distancing. Look at the brand equity. Where is 1000? Where is 5000? Premium shirts. And what does this all tell you? They did not see the change coming in. They were still selling the same type of products which they have been selling in the past. I call this as Kumbhakarna syndrome. You know Kumbhakarna? My guru, my idol. I want to sleep like him at least one day in my life. He used to sleep for months together. So one day Kumbhakarna went to sleep. It was very hot and humid in Colombo at that time. So he switched on ACs, switched on fans, and slept only wearing a dhoti, nothing else, because it was very hot. And in the middle of his sleep, he woke up because he was shivering, he was feeling cold. He called all his dasas and sevakas. Okay. Which idiot has switched on this AC? Can't you see I'm shivering? Switch them off. And no one understood what happened. What had happened? Can you imagine? Why was Kumbhakarna feeling so cold? Absolutely. The weather outside had changed, the environment outside had changed, and Kumbhakarna was caught napping. If you see all these brands that we discussed, exactly the same thing happened. They were caught napping when the environment outside, that's what we say in marketing, business environment. Environment had changed and these companies were caught napping. That's why they were Kumbhakarna. Don't be Kumbhakarna. Keep open your eyes. If need be, learn from your competitors. There is nothing wrong. If someone is doing something good, it's worth learning. Having understood what is agility, I always say it's like being like Indian cobra and not like being anaconda. What is Indian cobra and what is anaconda? You know anaconda, right? It is a big python that is available in Africa, swamps of Africa. It's so big and so huge that you can twist its tail easily, and by the time the feeling will go to the brain and the brain will say, move your tail, the person can go miles away. And what is Indian cobra? It's proactive. The moment he senses some difference, some change in his environment, he looks at it and is ready. That's by being proactive. Be an Indian cobra. That's agility. If you don't, you will become anaconda, and all anacondas have only one fate. Okay. Kumbhakarna. Go that way. Then there is always a debate, but both Professor Maitri and my colleague Professor Pawan Kumar Singh has covered it very nicely, so I will not cover it. It's about sustainability. Well, no doubt we need to be sustained, but it's not, in my opinion, sustainability versus development. We need to develop. India is on the path of development, and there will always be an issue of whether we should look at sustainability or we should care for development. I am working in the state of Himachal Pradesh, and you know what havoc it has created? My student and I, we went and helped those areas, the local administration. We help as our responsibility. And we had seen it firsthand. You can't help it. You will have to manage sustainability along with development. You have to do that. Okay. And lastly, be prepared to face tomorrow, which will, by agility, by being sustainable methods, by being positive and adopting an attitude of learning. If you keep learning, you will always be agile. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Professor Praful. I think, the takeaway from this opening remark of Professor Praful is, if you don't remain relevant, the example of Kodak or Nokia talks about very clearly the example he has given. So it is all about yesterday of tomorrow is today. If you don't wake up today, tomorrow you are not going to be there in the marketplace. So that is where it is extremely important how to remain relevant and how to remain in touch with the customer. And if you look at this iPhone, it has affected 57 businesses. One iPhone, it has affected Kodak, it has affected Nokia and many businesses. It is not only telephone, not only camera, not only VC or doing business remote or whatever your education also, many of those in rural they need mobile. So this is how the technology is disrupting, and in this kind of environment, how to remain alert and how you should be the first one to capture the technology. You should never be the last one. I think that is what the important message is all about. So with this, we have completed the first round. Now let us go to the second round. And my question goes to Professor Pawan And now the answer has to be in 2 minutes. For all the members, giving the answer in 10 minutes is very easy, but answer in 2 minutes for the question is very tough. And I know that our all distinguished panel members, they will answer in 2 minutes so that we can cover one more round. Now question Professor Pawan, as far as this topic is concerned, rethinking a business model and keeping those two things, sustainability and inclusivity. So my question to you is, what kind of leadership qualities are essential to get these two important components, sustainability and inclusivity, in the organization? How leaders should get these two things into the organization as a fabric of organization?
Thank you, Professor Mantri. Two things we need to possess. Number one is, of course, we emphasized, Professor Agnihotri also said, we have to be alert. It has been always defined that a wise person is always alert, never suspicious, always alert. But apart from alertness, we need to be sensible and sensitive. For example, alertness will help our business to thrive, but sensibility and sensitivity will allow the existence to stay and thrive in which we are living. So two things are needed, alertness and sensitivity. Now what kind of business leadership model has to be there? You see, we are born males and born females, but motherly quality is not monopoly of women, and fatherly quality is not monopoly of born males. That's why the concept of Ardhanarishwar in Indian concept says that we have to be combination of assertive as well as empathetic personality. The empathy, motherly quality basically, assertiveness, fatherly quality basically, we need to be combination of both. Because not only that we have to be sensible to environment so that the pace of business has to be accordingly tuned to the need of future environment, but on the other side, the competition is also becoming much more throat-cutting competition. We should not lose sight of that. While attending this seminar, we should not lose sight of throat-cutting competition. So we need to possess both these qualities. Be assertive in your business, keep inventing, and leadership quality of future would be that yesterday we used to say, or today we say, failure is a good teacher. Perhaps not success, but I would like to change the phrase for your kind consideration. Failure is a good teacher, but success is also equally a good teacher. And last point, that leaders not only to weed out non-performing products or services, but tomorrow's leader, they will be forced and they should get invited to also weed out some successful endeavors in order to create a space for yet better things. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Pawanji. Now my next question is to our second esteemed panelist, Dr. Timonti. So I think all of you know that, sir, you know that the rate of change is faster than fast. Somebody has made an estimate before 2002, from civilization to 2002, whatever the data we have, and after 2002, today's data is much bigger than the data civilization to 2002. That is what one estimation says. It means the kind of data coming every day in this world as a part of technological disruption. So this big data is also very important parameter for rethinking a business model. And while rethinking the business model, we take into account the social, technological, spiritual and also continental aspect in mind. And since the technology is converting everything into automation, human beings are replaced for driverless car, or many things are replaced by the machines and the robots. So in this context, the education institutions and also businesses, they don't know what will come 3 years down the line, what businesses are going to disappear, what new businesses are going to come. So in this kind of context, what kind of mindset we have to build, and at the same time we remain relevant, we should be the leading from the front in this context. What is your view?
So it's a great question. Quick show of hands. How many people know what's going to happen tomorrow? None. Absolutely no one in this room knows what's going to happen tomorrow. If you are running a business or if you are running a country, the question I pose is, how should you prepare for tomorrow? That's the critical question. So, what skills, what leadership type, what leadership model should you try to incorporate to adapt and lead tomorrow? Tomorrow is going to be radically different than yesterday. Please put a bookmark in your mind and remember, what you saw yesterday is no longer going to be tomorrow. So with that being said, critical thinking, reflection. I've heard study the world, study people, be as knowledgeable as you can, be creative, be flexible, be adaptive. When I ran my businesses, I knew that I was a terrible accountant, so I hired experts to give me advice. In my school of business, I do not teach data analytics. I hire the experts and I ask them to tell me how to position the curriculum. Know yourself. Know what your strengths are. Know what your abilities are, and hire people to fill your weaknesses. None of us know what's going to happen tomorrow, but I guarantee you, an educated leader who studies the world, who studies people, who knows how to serve a greater good, that is creative, adaptive, and flexible, will be able to survive and help navigate this disruption. AI is not a storm, it's not a monsoon, because monsoons leave, right? They come, they cycle, they leave. AI is changing everything in your life. Your medical, your education, your transportation, your financial. Every aspect of your life is going to be different. Is it an opportunity or is it a threat? How you as a leader respond will determine whether or not your organization takes it as an opportunity or your organization takes it as a threat and fails. So leadership is the key. Ego. Ego has ruined many an organization. Ego has ruined many a society. Know what you're good at and bring people in that you're not good at. And when you're wrong, say you're wrong, admit it, analyze it, focus on it, learn, and then move forward.
Thank you very much. Professor, I think it is extremely important to focus on, what is going to come tomorrow and how to prepare oneself. And for that, sense making is one of the important qualities everybody has to get into, otherwise we will be out of the market. So if you look into the current changing world, I think the rate of change is tremendous, and new dimensions are adding as a complexity, and that is where sometime back we came out with the VUCA world. So VUCA world adding so many complexities, So keeping these things in mind, my next question to Professor Prafulla. So this question is digital transformation. We are talking about faster, cheaper, better in business school. Anything, all MBA students and professors, we talk about faster, cheaper, better, and one more dimension added is faster, cheaper, better, and sustainable. Now, to get into that, how digital transformation is going to help faster, cheaper, better, and sustainable, sir?
Everything is digital. If you see, the microphone that I'm holding right now is digital. Okay? The phones that we have digital technology. The business schools, I'll stick myself to only business schools because we are in business school, have to also adopt the digital technology. And it can be adopted. We saw how we adopted it, or we were forced to adopt it during COVID time. And the same thing is going to continue in future. I understand PIBM has campuses in multiple locations. They can all be connected through a digital technology, okay, or the same one. This same program can be telecasted live simultaneously on all these campuses thanks to digital technology. You can start, we have just launched, just day before yesterday I was in Delhi and we launched our executive MBA programs, and those executive MBA programs will be conducted digitally. Students don't have to quit their jobs. They can continue work in their offices, they can attend classes on weekends, and they can come and stay on the campus twice in a year. And they would have the personal meet with the faculty as well as among themselves. So it is all digital, and in my opinion, everything is going to be digital in the days to come. We have to adopt it, we have to accept it. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Professor Prabhu. So now, you see, we are getting every time a new product in the market, and every product, there is a, even you might have seen during COVID, Baba Ramdev came out with some kind of product. It is also, it will cure the COVID. Many people came out. So a lot of cosmetic, changes they will do and they come out. But in this kind of changing environment, so how to build a sustainable product in the market so that it has a long life effect and as well as without any side effect, because any side effect is again going to add many things. People say if you don't eat food properly, then medicine will become food and food will become medicine. So how to avoid that? What kind of sustainable product we are looking for? Looking at the very purpose of planet is a people development, and all human beings are here to take care of all living beings and the planet. So how to bring this into as a part of sustainability and inclusivity? So how to get into that? What kind of product we should be looking in business?
Okay, if I get your question well, you're asking me what is this product which I bring in the market, and when I bring in the market, it's not going to affect the customer, and how to sustain that product, it will grow, it will develop, and it will hit the market. Well, when I look at this product, and of course you've talked about like cosmetics, and when I look at these cosmetics, they will not affect the people. And when especially, I don't know whether I've got it right, you said especially there's some medicine, when you take the medicine, then you are told take the fruit so as not, some fruits will not affect the medicine. Have I gotten it right? The question.
Yeah,
Have I gotten your question right?
Yeah, my question is a sustainable product means there should not be any side effect of that product on the environment, on the any living being, such kind of product, so that sustainability from the planet point of view, we can fully use the resources for many generations.
Okay, when I look at this product, first of all, before you bring that product in the market, it must be tested, it must be authorized by the market and the regulations that be. So when you bring your product into that market and it is regulated and it is authorized, then of course you start marketing it, you get good customers who agile customer care, and then you follow your product and see whether it has affected the people.
So thank you very much. I think 2 rounds we have, I think, discussed with the distinguished panel members. Now, few questions are open to the audience. We will take only few questions. We are closing to the time. And any questions you can raise the hand and mic can be given. You have to introduce yourself and whom you want to ask question. You have to point out the resource persons with your name and you can ask the question. Yeah, please. Yeah, directly question and no description, pointed questions, and you will also get the pointed answer, and we will finish in 7 to 8 minutes.
Very good afternoon, sir. So my question is with Dr. Agnihotre. Good evening, sir. So as for the question that the sir asked, that how everything can be faster, cheaper, better, and sustainable. So you answered that the digitalization of the world is going to make some things cheaper, right? And as per me, the economy and the globalized in the world is what digitalized was way back later. And AI is what something was a result of digitalization only, making the things cheaper, better, and easily available. And in future terms, even the ChatGPT is going to monetize itself, its services. But what I want to ask is, if we are going to make something cheaper through the digital world, it will somehow hamper us or not? Because as a human, we have a nature to develop things for our betterment. But sometimes it hampers our health and our economy and our objectives also. So how can this will be resolved?
Is this question to me?
Yes.
Okay. I'm not too sure whether I could hear your question completely because the voice was up and down. But what I understand is the digital technology acceptable? Is that right?
Sir, my question was, if the technology is, we could make something cheaper, better, and faster through digital means. But if we can develop something digitalized, like for example, AI is a product of a digital world, where we procure it for some betterment and the cheaper services. But I want to ask that if AI is also seen as the thing which can hamper us only, like a creativity mindset and knowledge which our person could get. So I just want to ask if things being cheaper or made betterment for through the digital world, it can hamper us in a larger sense, because a human has a tendency.
Okay, I think, sir, you can go ahead.
Okay. I think Mr. Professor Maitri has answered this question partly in his opening remarks. Okay. It's up to us to whether accept the technology or resist it. Okay. Over a period of time, if you see the past also, say for example automation, when the banks were computerized, the bank's employee had gone on strike, saying that will curtail number of jobs. But now we have realized that it has not actually curtailed the number of jobs, but it has made the jobs simplified. They have simplified the jobs. Okay. The bank workers used to work toward annual year end for preparing annual accounts. They used to work almost overnight for at least 2 to 3 weeks. Today they don't need to do that. They close their accounts and their balance sheet and final accounts are ready. So coming back to AI, will it affect us? Yes and no both. How will it affect us? If I go on using, say, ChatGPT, I will lose my writing skills. And whatever that we don't use, we lose. We know that. That's what Darwin said. So perhaps we will lose our writing skills. We may not master the art of writing. Okay, because we can just give command to ChatGPT, it will write an excellent article for you. It can write that whole bloody research paper for you. Okay. So where is the chance of learning it? And you will lose out on that. The question is, how do we and having understood the difficulties, having understood the negative side, how do we embrace it? That's up to us. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Next question. Yeah. This side, you can raise the hand. Mic can be passed on here. Yeah, you can stand up and you can speak loudly.
Good afternoon, sir. I am Dingam Rekha. So my questions is that in the prospect of business model, why do we focus this agility, sustainability, and inclusivity only in the midst of disruption? Why not we bring this kind of solution when there is no disruption? And what could be the condition if we bring this kind of sustainability and inclusivity and agility business model apart from disruption? What could be the situation that we will be having on?
You would like to say? Yeah, please.
Thank you so much. I liked that question. Why should we be always agile when there is disruption? And why not be agile throughout the time? That's what you're asking us, isn't it? That question you're asking us, why should we not be agile every time? We are only waiting when there are disruptions, then that is the time we are agile. Actually, I believe this theme is looking at when there are disruptions. However, it's not telling us that we should not be agile in our businesses throughout. Immediately you start your business model, go be agile in your leadership, in everything, but don't wait for only the time when there are obstacles. But when there are obstacles, that is the time now you should put all your gears so that you will be ahead of the other businesses.
Thank you very much, and we are running close to the time. I think we have taken 1 minute more. 12:06. Just to summarize, in today's fluid world, disruptions are unavoidable. Today's fluid world, unlearning is important if you want to remain relevant. Learning, new learning, skilling are anyway required, but unlearning, those who make unlearning, they stand up in the crowd. How to make unlearning, that is not taught anywhere, but each one of you learn. Third most important, this particular context, rethinking a business model, each one of you have to be a great sense maker. And the fourth most important, you should be the first one to capture the technology. As in the beginning, Ramanji rightly said, the development as well as the humanity, both have to go together. You cannot say that because of development all the problems are coming. Yes, it is true, but how to development as well as humanity, or great human being to take care of all living beings, both have to go together. For that, net zero, probably what we talk about, net zero means nobody can use the flight, nobody can use any transportation, even digital transformation, not of a lot of electric waste is there, electronic waste is there. It doesn't mean that we are not supposed to use. You use all those things. At the same time, you have to plant more trees. You have to create more such kind of things. It can be carbon neutralization can happen. So this is how the development of human being, development of technology, both are going to hand in hand, and many things are not in our control, but many things are also in our control. So that is where using the technology, using the digital transformation, how both can go together, we can utilize. For example, I am coming from Nagpur. Nagpur is blessed with the great forest, biggest forest, and lot of tigers. And there even many industries come, the position of pollution will not be like Delhi, because lot of plants and trees are there and lot of water bodies are there. So this is how the balancing the nature with the development as well as development of people and development of business, this is what going to be in hand, but every few years your business models are going to change because of disruptions, and disruptions are unavoidable. I hope all my distinguished four members, they have given a lot of insights, lot of food for thought, and powerful statements and messages. I am sure that help all the people, and especially my dear students, how we should shape ourselves using AI is also shaping the talent, but these insights how help you to shape each one of you. I think this panel discussion, I hope it is a great fruitful. I thank each one of them for their insights and participation, and thank you very much.
Quickly, this is a teachable moment. When you work for a company, you make it less expensive. Your competition makes it cheaper. Don't use the word cheap or cheaper when you're talking about your business. Use less expensive. Your competition's cheaper, you make it less expensive. I apologize, it's the teacher in me. I saw a moment to teach, so thank you.
Thank you, everyone. Indeed, the wisdom shared in this August panel will definitely serve us with the opportunity to dwell on the topics of sustainability and inclusivity in the midst of disruptions in an extremely volatile, uncertain, complex, and an ambiguous world. Thank you, Bhimaraya sir, for chairing and moderating this panel discussion so effectively.
Now, I would request our respectable Ma'am, Rajeshri Pillai Ma'am, Director, MBA and Dean Research and Development, PIBM, to deliver the vote of thanks.
Such a powerful discussion. I think the thoughts, the knowledge which this forum has provided to us, they are just not the set, the context for sustainability in the present, however for the future. I thank Dr. Maitri for accepting my last hour invite to moderate the session. Thank you so much, sir, and the way effectively you moderated the session, it was really wonderful. Thank you so much. I thank all the dignitaries for bringing out very important pointers, starting from fluid businesses, sensible, alert and empathetic, as well as assertive leadership, adoption of disruption, get disrupted or adopt disruption, ensure that we have a better planet for next generation and we use these resources very carefully. Also, we need to ensure the faster, less expensive, better and sustainable earth. And as our chairman has specifically mentioned about sustainability and humanity, which will go hand in hand. With this all thoughts, I think they have set the context wherein a lot of researchers who are here as well as students can work toward the better planet. For this conference, I would like to thank our chairman Ramanpreet sir. This conference we have started in 2018, sir. This is the 6th year. And every year we are working on to various topics which are related to future. It was about disruption of various business which we had today. Also we had many conferences on to AI and other technologies and digitization as well. So I thank you Ramanpreet sir for ensuring and holding and supporting us in all the conference moment as well as taking this institute to the next level. I thank you Director sir, all the HODs. Also, I would like to thank all the faculty members. To be precise, I would like to thank Dr. Purna, Professor Purnima, Dr. Nilesh Kate, Dr. Vinay, Professor Bise, and all faculty members. I request everyone to give them a big round of applause as they were working very hard day and night. My special thanks to our placement team, Shodan ma'am, Anshul sir, Shweta, all the team members. I thank admin team, academic team, as well as I would like to thank all the student coordinators who are there day and night working to ensure this day. I thank you Indrayut and Polami ensuring this show goes best. So thank you everyone, and I think we can have a good lunch now. Thank you everyone.
I request all the dignitaries and our chairman, Mr. Ramanpreet sir, to come forward